Is it correct? Hooray! It's correct. Perfect. The treasure chest is opening, and you find B and R and the weird red thing. It actually says the weird red thing. So earlier, I think we found this weird green thing that I kind of lost somewhere. Here we go. So we had this one. And I said I don't think we need it yet because there's also this weird red thing, which now we can take out. I'll take it from over here. All right, so this is the red thing. I'll take it out. No, come on. Okay, here we go. All right, so we have a red thing and we have a green thing. And I'm thinking that this is some form of lookup table. You know, like you take one symbol on the green and you translate it to one symbol on the red. So that's what I'm thinking. And I think they might even be symmetrical. Like in that form that if you go back from A to B and you go back from B to A, you end up at the same thing. So look, if you go from this symbol here and you go from here to here, you're back. You have like a closed loop of length 2, and you have that for every symbol. So you go from this symbol to this symbol, from this symbol to this symbol. So it's always 4 steps and you're back at it. So there's like tiny kind of like, it's like a bi-directional lookup table. That's pretty cool. And I think if I'm not completely stupid, yeah, that's because they're the same thing actually. You just have to rotate one and then you get the lookup. I don't know if that's true, it's just like my guess, but because they're exactly the same here, you just have the identity. But now if you swap them, you have some form of lookup table. So I think we might need that. And then we also need B and R. So let's take them out. Let's take B. And let's take R. Let's put this together back at 21. Making a lot of progress today. I think it's getting late here as well, so I might just call it. But should we look at B and R, or should we look at it in the next episode? Maybe we should look at it at the next episode. Although I'm also curious, and I don't want to spoil it for me and then tell you afterwards. So I'm curious. Let me quickly check how late is it actually. It is, all right, we have enough time to look at it. All right, so B and R. Oh wait, first, this is no longer needed. This is no longer needed because we solved it. So let's move them out of the game so they don't distract us. And let's look at B and R. And here we go. Oh my god. All right, so here we go. I think this is the crazy stuff with the numbers. I'm looking forward to that. And this symbol we don't have yet. We don't have it on this card. So this is for later. I'll put it over here. Oh, and this as well. Here. Oh. Maybe this is not for it because maybe this is something else, because this one is referencing the map. So this one is referencing this one, which is referenced by the circle, which is also what we should do because the circle is the only one that's left here. So we should absolutely do the circle. And for the circle, it says we need the blue original map, which we don't have. All right, fine. But we have this map. And here it basically says that the colors reference different rooms. So it says don't cover more than necessary, but cover every. So I don't know, it says cover with the sleeping quarters, cover everything that is brown. So I wonder what that means. All right, let's take this, let's put it to the side for now. And I think this one is just a hint what is connected together and that we need some blue blue stuff. So I will put this over here because I don't think it's necessary at the moment. And let's look at this book again. And I'm pretty sure this is related to this now. All right, so the weird part, if you look at this, there's this size change from like the small tiles to the large tiles, right? It's over here. So I wonder why that is, and if we can use that to line this up. Don't really see it because this seems pretty symmetrical. So I don't know why they do that. And I feel like they wouldn't do stuff just for fun, or they actually have a reason for it. So this is bothering me. Means I'm not getting something. And it also means that something is going on that I think we're missing. Or that I'm still missing. All right, let's see if we can figure this out. And I'm guessing it says this is not everything. We need the blue original, and I would assume we recover the blue original by following these rules over here, and then maybe creating a new map that is better. Also, I think these are nice, but they're not for now. So let's put them aside. And we also have this one here. But this is a different symbol, so let's also ignore it. How am I supposed so let's take these sleeping quarters, right? So sleeping quarters are here. And it basically cover all the brown ones here. All right, could do, right? With the sleeping quarters. What does this, I mean, now you could argue, all right, so the sleeping quarters on the left side, it's right here. And so we should cover every brown here. But the sleeping is not on the last row. So when we shouldn't cover those, and it's also not on the top one, and then there's like 1, 2, 3 missing. And it's also not here because there's a garden on the far left, so it's also not the 6. So you would only cover the 7, 3, or would you say you only cover basically the 8 here? I mean, we could only cover the 8. Sure, that would give us a digit, but then we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 digits or something. And for other things, that doesn't work because there's, for example, the fire pit. This is orange. And the fire pit here is only this top right small thing, and there's nothing here. Unless we rotate this around, then it would make kind of sense, but then we still have so many orange numbers. Like that doesn't... Maybe it's something like, so you look at what is, for example, the bedroom. If you put it on here, it would definitely cover the 8. So are you supposed to cover all 8s maybe? I don't like that. Like with most of these puzzles, you have this, moment, this aha moment where you're like, oh, now it clicked. And I feel like we should have that, but we don't. So we can map every number to a symbol. Sure, happy to. Then we have the whole symbols. Does that help us? I'm looking over to this card, but I have to remind myself this is not a clue, or this is not part of the riddle, because this has a different icon here, so this is not part of it. Should ignore it, but it's hard to ignore because it looks so similar to what we have here. think this is also for later. Let's ignore that. Also, oh, one more idea. I don't know. Nah, I don't know why, but I mean, you could say that this is the map for the top one here. So it's this top, and then you have it again here. That doesn't make any sense. Like basically that you have multiple maps on this single sheet of paper, or like, because I'm always rotating it around, but the numbers, if you would need to rotate it, wouldn't they print the numbers 90 degrees rotated as well? Right? Why would they print it like this if they want you to rotate it? So maybe they don't want you to rotate it. And why is like this top one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the top one is 7 by 8. And the bottom one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 8 times 9. Why is that, right? You could say it's kind of like scaled up version. Almost. I don't know. So if you want to say this is a unit here, let's just make that argument, right? Let's say this is a single unit. So then you have, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units like this. So this would kind of align with this 9 here. And then how many rows do we have? We have 1, 2 at the bottom. How many are in the middle? I mean, you could argue it's 3, maybe it's 4, so it's either 5 in total or 6, but that doesn't add up. Also, this is like symmetrical. I wonder if that is supposed to tell us something. Oh, we also have this one. Forgot about this. Here we go. So it also says that we should blacken out something like this. But it talks about symbols. But obviously these are symbols. So I still like this, that we say, let's do this, but let's blacken out all these symbols. Let's look up which numbers they are. Let's do that. Last effort here. All right, so we have the bug with wings. So we should what should we black out? We should black out a 3. And then the eye of Horus is a 5. And then we have the weird bird, which is a 9. We have the bug, which is a 7. We have the, I don't know if it's reeds or knives. I guess it's knives. It's a 4. And we have the fish, which is a 0. So we could say these are the ones that we have to remove. Now it gets a bit complicated because now we would need to draw this, right? Oh my god, what have I gotten into? Normally you should just do it here, but we will do it here. So it's a 7 by 8. Yeah, so let's do that. So that there is some pattern here, but it's hard to say that there's anything real. 2, 2 is nothing. Then we have a 4. Then we have a 0, 0, 0, 0, 4. And then we have a 3, 3. Well, and now, I mean, you could make an argument that this is some form of shape that we're constructing here. But I'm not so happy with it. mean, I kind of see that this is like, you could put this in, like, this is basically like one dot here, one of those nibs, but it doesn't really add up with the rest. All right, doesn't really make sense. I don't think that makes a lot of sense, actually. Oh, I just realized something nice. So here we have this shape. So since we have this shape, and it's the same shape that is here, I think these cards are supposed to be connected. I think it's what they mean. But we don't have a symbol like this. We have the shape, but we can't find this shape on our drawing here. So this means that this puzzle is not yet solvable for us. So I think we need to put this to the side and leave it for later on. But I guess we should, I don't know, we're close to this because I think we just need to basically color in these symbols here on this map. And I think that will give us somehow the answer. So I think this is actually kind of close, but not for now. Put it over here. And for now, I think we need to solve this weird thing that is connected to this page. And I have no idea what to do with it, basically. So, let's look at this again. So it says never cover more than is required. So only cover the minimal number of tiles. And we should, for example, so it lists, and for example, the first one say cover with the sleeping quarters everything that is brown. So we could say, oh, on this page, sure, we just cover everything that's brown with a sleeping quarter. But what does that mean? Like, how can we cover something with a sleeping quarter? And then we have this drawing, which has a sleeping quarter on here. It's basically this word over here. So we could use that, but it doesn't tell us anything else. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to use that information, how to combine these hints. And it also says we need the blue original, which we haven't found. It's so confusing. And then also we have numbers on here. So either these numbers just refer to, because they are 0 to 9, either they refer to the symbols, this lookup table that we had with the symbols here, they refer 0 to 9. So either they just refer to that, and at the end there's just like 3 numbers left over or something like that. Or they actually mean something else. It's really weird. And I tried to draw the numbers here, and I only drew a certain set of numbers, but I don't think that made any sense. So this is basically almost meaningless. Yeah, and this is where we're stuck. Oh. Doesn't. Okay, I just got an idea. I'll get to it in a second, but we also have this map here, which I think we have to play around with. And so my current, just 1 second, my new idea is that we basically cut out the garden, for example, like this is the garden part here on the left side. And this part we will put over the green tiles. So quite literally covering this stuff with these things here. And maybe Maybe that gives us something. The other thing I thought about just now, I'm recording it. Like whenever I think about this, I'm basically recording it, and I'm trying not to think about this at all when I'm not recording. I'm not even in this room, and yeah, I'm just trying not to think about it. So basically, I can keep track of all the time I'm thinking about it. And so one more thing while I was just explaining, I had this idea is that maybe we can cover the green part with the garden, and that would cover this tile and the next one because the garden is, or maybe even the next one because it's 3 wide or something like that. I don't know, could be. So we could say we cover all 3 of those. Or alternatively, we could look at the 3 colors that are not mentioned here. So we have 3 colors, and those are gray, yellow, and purple. So we could look at all the gray, yellow, and purple colors and see if they form some pattern. So basically, if we would have covered everything else, if there's like some pattern that is left. So I think we can find out pretty easily by just starting from the top here and looking at the purple and yellow, which is this shape here, and then there's no connection. I think there's no connection to a gray tile, which is already weird. So maybe that's not the idea. We have some gray tile here as well that is not connected to any yellow or purple. So I don't see how that makes the shape, at least not a continuous shape. I mean, here it kind of works with, like, we have three purple ones and 2 gray ones, and then we have orange, we have yellow next to it, and then we have something purple again, and here we have some orange. So it could work. Maybe just for fun, I did this this drawing the last time, I think. And basically what we can do is we can just try to find the shapes, the gray, yellow, purple shapes, and just draw them. Maybe that will be interesting. I think I'm going to try that. So I'm basically taking this top shape here, and I'm just drawing these lines a bit thicker, so it would be like this, and then would be 1 wide, 2 low, over here, like this. Then would be 1 tile. But it doesn't make much sense. Like this is not a number for me. I mean, maybe you could see this as a 1 if you turn it 90 degrees, and this is the base of that 1. If you want, you could color this in. But I don't really see this. This could also be a 4, so you could kind of see this, but I don't think it makes sense. Also, in that approach, we would completely ignore the numbers, so I don't like that approach. I would rather just think about literally covering the tiles with the shapes from here. And so let's say we want to cover everything just for fun, then we should have a shape for the backyard or whatever this is called in the middle, and it has this shape with the tiles at the top, right? So maybe there's one color that is laid out like this that is missing because, sorry, this backyard is basically not listed here. So it should be either gray, yellow, or purple. So I just want to check if there's like some pattern here with gray colors or purple or yellow, but I don't see any. Okay. All right, then the only real thing that is left for me here is if we look at, let's say we look at the garden, we have to cover the green tiles with the garden. All right, fine. Happy to do that. if we would cover it from left to right, we couldn't go over the border here. So we couldn't cover it here. Or I guess we could, but it would be kind of awkward. We could say that the garden is oriented this way. And maybe it's like too high or something like that. I mean, if you compare it side by side, somewhere in the middle, that's not very promising. So I mean, I could cut out this garden here, and it would cover 1, 2, maybe 3 tiles. If I want to stretch it, I could cover 3 tiles with it. So I could always cover 3 tiles on top. So I would cover this 6, this 2, and this 1. I could try to say, oh, I'll just cover those 3 here. And maybe that would give me some form of shape. And then how wide is stuff? Is it too wide? I guess this is kind of too wide, but not really. I mean, too wide would be wider than this. It would actually be up to here. I'm not sure. I'm not very happy with this either. So one more idea is that we just scale it up to the correct size to cover everything. That does sound crazy. So we basically say brown has to be covered by the sleeping quarters. So what we do is we say the sleeping quarters had to be scaled up to this whole area so it covers all the brown. All right, fine. Then we have the garden, and all of this is already covered with brown because we go along this line. I don't know. And so in order to cover the garden, we only need to cover this part here. All right, so then this part is also done, kind of this side here. Seems so stupid. And then we cover everything red next. So we cover this. Sure. Let's just do it for fun. And then we cover everything light blue. So this would be this. Then we cover everything dark blue. So that's this side here gone. So we now only have this column here. That was dark blue. And then we cover everything orange. So then we're this done. So then we have only 5, 4, 2 left. And you know what? I think it's stupid, but I will try it. It's basically the gray, yellow, purple that we shouldn't have covered. And this is the only configuration where it's not overlapping with all the others. So I'm just trying it. I have no better idea. So 5, 4, 12. Wait, I think we have some paper here. Tells us our lookup. All right. So our code is 542. It's a circle. And the 5 is the eye of Horus. Then the 4 is the knives. And then we have a 2, which is the guy with, or the girl with the arms up in the air. That gives us number 9. Let's check it out. I don't know. It would be so stupid. Well, okay, so this is not bad, but it's not that it's actually correct. I don't know if this is how they would like us to do it. I don't know. I mean, I got it, but it's super weird, and I'm not sure I'm a big fan. because it's, I don't know, I can explain it again afterwards if this was too fast. So this the circle is on this symbol, it's down here, and that is number 24 here. So let's check out number 24. Just verify. Yeah, it's 24. Don't want to make a mistake. So that's 24. So let's check out 24. What do you think? Do you think it's correct? I feel it's such a stretch. I mean, I don't really believe in it, but there's like, I would give it a 10% chance. So let's look at it. Whoa, that was actually correct. All right, this I think was the hardest one so far and the most weirdest one of all. All right, so before we move on, let me explain how I did it. And I think once we're done with this whole game, or maybe we should do it now. Yeah, I think I will actually look at the solution right now because I'm not sure I solved it the correct way. So I want to make sure that I solved it the correct way. But so let me just explain how I got there. Let's put this aside just for now. Let's go back to this. All right, so we have the map here, and they basically say cover stuff, and all these rooms are rectangular rooms, right? And the drawing that we have here, it's kind of not to scale, or they say at least that this is only half true. So let's assume this just tells us that all the rooms are rectangular and nothing else. Fine. Then if the rooms are all rectangular, then we can cover, and we should cover the brown one with, and here's singular, with the sleeping quarters. We have to cover everything brown with this one room, right? So how do we do that? We cover basically every brown tile, and there's only brown tiles in the upper page, in the upper part of the page, and that means that we have to find the corners that are furthest away from this rectangle. So it's this 3 down here, and it's this 1 or the 6 up here, right? But since we have to make a rectangle, we actually have to make the rectangle all the way to this corner here. Otherwise, not all the brown would be covered. So this whole upper part is basically covered. So all of this is covered. We only have the stuff at the bottom here. And now they say cover everything green. So there's only 4 green here, and we can cover them by just removing those 2 columns. So we can remove those. All right, and then they say cover everything red. So there's only red down here. So we can cover everything red down here with another rectangle all the way up to here. And then they say cover everything light blue. And so there's light blue here, here, and here. So we have to move that border, like we have to draw a rectangle around this. So we have to move it over here. And then we have to cover dark blue. And dark blue is here, 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 and here, and here. All right, so we have to draw a big rectangle over here. I just use this card just to show you. All right. And now they say, okay, cover the orange one. And so there's the top 3 are orange, so these are covered as well. Okay, so orange is gone. And then there's only the 5, 4, 2 left over here, because those 3 colors didn't appear on that. And I saw that these colors were not appearing on there already in the last episode, but I didn't get that this is actually the approach how to cover stuff. I mean, it works. All right, it works. And I got it. It just probably took an hour to figure this one puzzle out, which is a long time. But so for fun, let's take these cards away because we solved it, so they're no longer required. And let's look at the hint cards, because this hint with circles, and we solved it. So I'm happy to look at those now. So first, it tells us, oh, we need the cards B, I, and P, and those were the 3 cards that I just threw away. So we had those. And we need page 6. So this is page 6. So it tells us, oh, we should look at this. All right. And we need the blue original map of the palace. All right. And I don't know, it doesn't tell us where that is. It just tells us, oh, you need the blue map, the blue original, which I have no clue where it is. All right. Oh. Oh, and here we go. This is the second clue, and I didn't get this. And all right, so I solved it without this. All right, so I just read that there's the blue map is part of the box. So I didn't take a look at this at all. I just threw all the stuff that we don't need at here. I just threw it in there. But now that they're saying it, let's take all these cards out that we are already, throwing in because we don't need them anymore. And this is blue, so I assume. Oh, this is all right. This is clever, but I don't know if you can actually wait. So. Here you go, right? If you look at that, this is the same map with the palace. Oh well. That's how it goes, right? So this is the map, and then this is the actual to scale. And I just assumed this wasn't on like the right scale, but all right, fair. And so what they want you to do is they want to you should take this off this edge here, for example, and you should use that to cover the garden, right? And then it makes sense because this thing is exactly large enough to cover the green tiles, like this. You cut it in here. I don't want to cut it because I want the next person to play with this as well. But so I guess this is used to then cover over those things, and I did it without it. I just never got this hint, but I just skipped it. So I'm moving this back in here for the next person. Putting in the card. And yeah, I think now the last card will basically just tell us what we already did. So it basically, yeah, look. So we should have covered everything, and then 542 is the code. And we have to decode that. Yeah. So we got it. We actually got it correct. We just basically skipped this part, and I think we made this assumption that this drawing was not to scale. We scaled it up to the correct dimension we needed, which was luckily pretty easy to see on here, and we solved it. So I think it's a valid solution what we did. I think it's probably harder this way, but also looking back at the box is, I guess, a bit outside the box thinking. Haha, such a bad pun. And yeah, I think we just solved it in another way. So now we get cards E and S. So I'm taking E and S out from here. So we're getting to the end. There are not many more puzzles left. Putting 24 back. And before I reveal these cards, I will take a quick break here just to celebrate. And then I'm back afterwards. All right. Take care, everybody. This was fun. I'm happy we solved it after all.